All right, it looks like I'm live. It's John Boy in the house with Be the Change. What's going on, Be the Change?
Oh, not too much. Just chilling, chillaxing. How you doing, man?
Oh, just waiting for my mandatory vax to come to my door.
Yeah, right. Wish they could mail it and I just check a little box saying I took it or not.
Oh man, it's gonna be. I gotta say one thing though. Hang on, let me. All right, I got my audio off. I stopped by a neighbor that I don't really stop by that much, and but anyhow, I said, do you realize they're going to have the military come door to door and force a vaccination on you? He's like, I'm locked and loaded for him. Now, I didn't know this guy is a black dude, man, and he's ready. So there's a lot of people awake that you don't believe that's awake.
Yeah, because people are all for, their civil liberties, and they're all for what's right. The majority of people, they're all for their civil liberties, you know what I mean, until they're actually confronted. And a lot of people are going to say that they're not going to take the vaccine, that are going to, because you're not going to be able to go to a store. You're not going to be able to, and nobody's going to want to do what I've already done the last couple of years. And that's set myself up to where I don't have to go into a store. You know what I mean?
I don't either. Really.
Nope. I'll go shopping at the Amish stores. I'll go to farms. I know places where I can go and get food off the books. I don't need nothing. And I won't. I refuse.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm gonna have to rough it. There's certain things I'll go to the store for, but it ain't a necessity. It's for convenience.
Right. Yeah. Same here. A little bit of water and a bucket, I can wipe my butt. You know what I'm saying?
We got Jenny girl in the house. Oh man, yeah. We're just sitting there talking about we got people trying to harm us, y'all. I don't know if y'all realize that, but if somebody tries to harm me, I'm gonna defend myself, and that's where that Second Amendment comes in. If you have somebody trying to force a vaccine on you, they are trying to harm you. Therefore, they are your enemy, and you have the right to defend yourself against foreign enemies or domestic. And it looks like we're going to have domestic enemies coming to our doors.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's all I need to say.
That's the truth, though. That's the biggest part, and that's the most important part. Like, you can say that I'm going to punch you in the nose, but it's for your own good.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to let me do it. It's for your own good. I'm going to punch you right in the nose. It's going to clear up that sinus issue.
Okay.
That's my point,
And that's what everybody's going to do. Okay, I need punched in the nose? No.
Okay, bro. Nope.
I mean, but if people look at that shot like that, they're not going to accept getting punched in the nose.
But that's what I'm saying. Necessity is the cry of every tyrant, to take away your civil liberties and to take away your rights. Period. Yeah. That's what it is. You're not even your civil liberties, your human rights as a human. You know what I mean? Screw the Constitution. I don't need the Constitution to tell me that I'm alive and that I'm allowed to do certain things. I don't need that. That's just kind of like an insurance policy that's getting stepped on.
Hey, I believe in my God-given rights. Mm-hmm. And that's what our Constitution was based on. So if we don't have a Constitution, I still have my God-given rights to freedom and liberty and enjoyment of life. And nobody's going to step on that, tread on that, or stick a needle in me.
Nope. The only way to take that over is to have me dead.
The only way a needle, is going to go in my body is if it's dead. Yeah. There ain't no needle going in me while I can take a breath.
Nope, same way here. And that's just the way that it is. I haven't had a shot in years, and my oldest was vaccinated until he was 3, and and he's 8 now. So for the last almost 6 years, I haven't vaccinated my children. My 2 youngest children haven't ever been vaccinated.
Well, I think we talked about this before. I don't vaccinate my dog, and it acts more like
a dog
should than a vaccinated dog.
like I've got 2 dogs sitting here next to me, and they're two of the best behaved dogs, period. And they've never had a shot, and they're not about ready to, because this is the way that they were naturally made. I've never seen an animal. I'm not saying rabies isn't around. Okay, let's be realistic. Okay, rabies is a thing.
Get on that, yeah.
You know, rabies is a thing. Okay, but
yep.
I've never heard of a case of rabies anywhere around me. I've never, you know, you never hear, you know, that chronic wasting disease of deer. We don't have that around me. We don't have that shit. It's just, it's like not in my reality. It's not even a real thing. As far as I know, that stuff only exists on a television.
Well,
so
look,
I'm gonna sit there and put my dog's immune system at risk whenever they could, you know, be exercised. Yeah, my dog gets a little cold every now and then. Every dog does, you know what I mean? Purging the nasty dog food. And that's kind of why I've strayed away from dog food, and I pretty much feed them what I eat.
Yeah. Well, you know, I look back just the other day, I was thinking about that, how they're pushed the rabies vaccination. You don't want your pets getting rabies because of an animal. And I'm like, and everybody's getting their dogs once a year, getting this shot in them, right? And I'm thinking, you know, I'm 51 years old, and to this day, I've never seen another animal with rabies, and I haven't even heard of another animal with rabies in 51 years. So why does the dog get rabies shots?
You always hear secondhand stories and thirdhand stories about it, but you don't ever hear or see anybody that's ever heard or seen of a case of it. You know, like every now and then you'll see something on, you know, like I remember whenever I was a kid hearing about people getting bit by a wild animal and they gave them a rabies shot as a precaution. And actually, I've had a rabies shot myself. Ooh. I got bit by a dog that was stray one time back in 2011 or something like that. It was like the year after I got back from Iraq. I don't remember exactly what year it was. But this dog bit the shit out of me and I had to get stitches. And they're like, well, we want to give you a rabies shot because we don't know where the dog was from. I don't think it had rabies. I think that it was just an asshole, you know?
And Jenny, I think you still got rabies, girl. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, you know, usually if you get bit by a dog like that, they'll kill the dog and look in its brain and see if it had rabies or whatever. Or they won't waste the time quarantining them. So I've had a dog that accidentally bit a kid once, and I had to get my dog quarantined for like, 14 days or something, so they can check for signs. And that cost me, I forgot how much it had to be housed in a boarding place for dogs. Anyhow, that dog didn't eat the whole time it was there because it missed me or something. When I saw my dog, I didn't even recognize it. It was so skinny.
Right.
It was a pit bull too.
And that's
jumped over the counter to get to me, man.
You don't, and that's the thing. Like if my dog were to bite somebody, then that person probably had it coming. Not that I couldn't make my dog bite somebody, I probably could. I don't foresee them ever biting anybody that doesn't deserve to get bit. If somebody's getting bit by my dog, they're probably getting shot by me too.
Well, what happened with mine was, all right, my ex-wife had a lot of nieces and nephews over, right? And her nephew was sitting there petting them down the nose, looking at them nose to nose in his eyes. He was a good dog. He'd let the kids ride him and everything, right? But two of his cousins, little nieces, sat there and ran up because they saw him petting on the dog. They wanted to be part of it too. So they went running over there and jumped down, and one of them stepped on his tail, and he jumped up. He didn't bite. He just jumped up like a yelp, and his fang tooth caught that boy in the cheek.
Right.
He bit the boy. It just, his face was so close anyhow that when he got startled by getting his tail stepped on and two other kids coming down behind him, he didn't even see him coming, that he jumped up, and his face was so close to my dog's face, the tooth caught him. He didn't bite him.
Just a bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't attack the boy. I mean, I don't never have dogs that attack anybody.
Shit, this dog right here, this black one, like she's never bit anybody except for me. Whenever she was a puppy, like I don't know what it was. When I first got her, she was about 4 months old and she was really weird with food. And I broke her of that now. You can reach right up into her dish and grab her food. She ain't gonna do nothing about it. But man, when I first got her, she was about 4 months old, and she was just swallowing food whole. You know how dogs do when they have multiple dogs around them. They're just trying to eat.
Yeah.
She's swallowing it whole and making herself sick. So she ate a whole bunch of it real quick, and I went to grab it away, and she nipped my thumb.
Yeah.
Then I smacked her.
You see my thumbnail?
Uh-huh.
My little dog bit me on my thumb and bit me on my little finger. I mean, it was a long time ago. It was up at the quick, but she went through like a false pregnancy because you know how dogs, if another female has had puppies or pregnant, they'll start lactating.
Yep.
Well, there's some loose females, and my dog got a hold of that hormone smell or whatever, and she started producing milk and got cranky. But you're talking about the food thing. I had my little dog for like a year and a half. I had her like you're talking about the food because I had my pit bull like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
After a year and a half, she snapped. What did I put down? It wasn't even food. I set you know those bamboo back scratchers?
Mm-hmm.
I scratched her on her back and I laid it down on the bed. Then I went to grab the back scratcher and she I bit my hand off. She was protecting that back scratcher like it was food.
Right.
But she flipped. I can't get her to stop. I don't know what happened to her.
And people are like that too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know.
There's definitely more injuries caused by human to human interactions every year than there ever is between any animal or any virus for that matter. You know?
Hell, my ex-wife bit off my bottom lip one time.
Damn.
Yeah. That was fun. Hey, you know what YouTube did to me? I put out this 1 minute video, right? Called "A Pill a Day Keeps the Truth Away."
Mm-hmm.
That thing was getting so many views. By the time I went to bed last night, and it was only up for like 4 hours, it already had 199 views, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get up this morning, I go to check it out because I figured if it went that high that fast, it ought to be up there, right? I go and look, it had 177 views. I'm like, hang on. It had 199 when I went to bed, and it had 177 when I got up.
You know, and I've had videos like that as well where I made a video and then one day it'll say one thing and then I'll go back to it and I'll notice it like the view count went down significantly.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does that even happen? Like that's why I stopped making YouTube videos. Whenever I started doing my YouTube channel, I was streaming every single solitary day. I would every day. And then it got to a point where literally I would gain subs. I would get like this list of people that I would gain and the exact amount every single month, it would go down the exact amount. Yeah. For how many I gained. And it did this for months and months. And I was like, you know what? Nope. I'm cool.
Check
you know,
this
I
out.
can see where this is going. I say too much.
My analog or my creator studio, you know, we go over there and look at your ratings and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It said in the last 28 days, I had an increase of 10 subscribers, right? But looking at my actual subscriber count, it only raised up 20. And
right.
then I lost 30. So, you know, I'm losing. I'm going backwards. They demonetize me because they don't like the truth.
No, and that's the thing. Like, Susan came out and even said that she was going to do that. You know what I mean? If you're going against the grain or like common held knowledge, which is most of the time bullshit, you know, if you're going against the grain in any way, you are not going to be able to be monetized. If you're going against any official narrative, you're not going to grow your channel. You're going to get demonetized and deplatformed. And it's like they've got everybody stuck here. You know, they gained such a huge following on YouTube that for you to go anywhere else, it would be pointless because that's just, there's nobody anywhere else. I don't care if it's DLive. I don't care if it's BitChute.
Yeah.
There is nowhere near the amount of people watching those websites as what there is YouTube. And now that they've got everybody sucked on Logan Paul and dumb shit and kitty videos and you know, just shit to make your mind go to mush. Now they're going to start shutting down the people that actually have a true platform and a voice, and nobody's going to go anywhere else because 99.9% of the other stuff that they watch is on YouTube.
Well, you saw me do a video on that. They sat there on the same page. It said, congratulations, you have been rating your videos accurately, talking about being able to be monetized, right?
Yep.
And then to the bottom, you know, middle right side, it said, your channel has been demonetized. I'm like, hang on. It said for harmful content that's harmful to viewers. But yeah, everything's there. So, and this is my deal. It's up to the advertiser to advertise on my video. Who gave YouTube the right to demonetize my channel when I put out monetizable videos?
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I'm not breaking any guidelines. It's up to the advertiser if they want to advertise. So YouTube, I'm still a monetizable channel. Well, they demonetized me, but I did not do anything to be demonetized as a channel. Now, my content can keep, you know, advertisers from advertising if they don't like the content, but that doesn't make me a bad channel to be demonetized.
It does, though. Because you speak your mind and you don't go with the narrative. In fact, people like me and you go against the narrative because we can see the clear path that is taking you down the cattle chutes, you know?
Well, you know what I did? I made a video and I showed where they removed it for hate speech, gave me a strike and everything, and I sat there and played the exact video that got me a hate speech strike. Still up. And I played that video a dozen times on a live stream the day they gave me the hate speech. Still up.
See, and that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Like any protected group, right? So if you are a normal person, quote unquote normal person who believes the narrative, right? And I say, hey, you sheeple need to get your heads out of your asses, or you're gonna become cannon fodder in my fucking way. Excuse my language. Yeah. That right there is hate speech. I hate that I've got to sit there and try to wake people up. I hate that people are going to come to my door and vaccinate. I go against, and I am morally opposed to everybody that thinks that that's the right thing to do. That right there is hate speech because I hate those people.
Dadgum John X Army said if they come to your house to give you that vax, shoot them in the face. He's still monetized.
I'm the one who said that shit. I said that in my video the other day.
Yeah. Well, he took that down and cleaned it up. Huh?
Shoot him. That's how I feel about it, though. It's like if they're coming to my house and they say, hey, we want to give you a vaccination. And I say, no. And then they try to force me. There's going to be somebody dying there. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if they come to my house and they say, hey, do you want this vaccine? No, thank you. Keep moving, soldier. Then that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and, you know, you asked me, I said, no, thank you, and you're on your way. But I'll be damned if I'm going to be forced. I'll be dead before I get my freedom taken away. I'll be damned.
And we got Dr. E-Bells in the house.
Who's that?
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I mean, look, people think you're going to have a choice and they're going to leave you alone, but you got to stay at your house the rest of your life.
That's what they're going to do.
They're going to euthanize you. They don't want to have to do. I mean, think about it. They're going to have everybody individualized in their own residence. They're not going to know what's happening over there at your house or my house, or you know what I'm saying?
And perfectly, because they've got us separated.
So,
you know, they've got people afraid to congregate.
Right.
And talk.
I still go to the dadgum little mom and pop store down the street, and the cook will come out and give me a hug.
Man, I'm the reason why. I'm the reason why live stream stopped wearing masks. You know,
that's good.
My little mom and pop store is literally If you drive from my doorstep on this dirt road out and it leads right to another dirt road, but right at the corner of those two dirt roads is a little mom and pop general store, right? And they have pretty much everything that a little tiny grocery store would, just a lot smaller, a lot smaller quantities. And I would keep going in there, right? I would go in there 3-4 times a day without a mask on, and everybody else that's in there, sometimes there's like 20 people in this little tiny store. And I'm sitting there, every day I'm doing it. People are trying to cuss me out, and I'm like, hey, man, we're in America. I don't give a shit. And then I talked to the owner, and I was like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You understand that, right? And she's like, oh, no, I just don't want to lose my store. That's the only reason I'm doing it. And I said, yeah, but you're giving in, right? The very next day, she ripped all the signs down, the signs that are mandated, to where they have to have like, oh, you got to keep social distancing. Oh, you got to wear a mask by governor. There's like 5 or 6 things they got to keep on their thing legally. She took all of them down. She took down the plastic veil to where, there's no contact barrier, and she's just like, you know what? You're right. I'm not giving in.
And that contact barrier is just a bunch of crap because it ain't doing nothing but getting in the way. It's not serving a purpose other than to cause more.
Yeah, it just screws with your mind. That's all it's doing.
He said something about 9mm vaccine card. Yeah, if they I'm telling you, if they come to my door, try to give me a shot, I'm gonna give them a lead injection, buddy. That's all it is to it.
No, and there's not enough people. People are afraid to say that kind of thing, and you can't be afraid to say that kind of thing because that's like this. It's the same way as saying, hey, if somebody comes and tries to hit me, I'm gonna hit them back. Okay. That's the same concept. It's the same concept. You can't allow yourself to be afraid because people with guns are going to come and potentially kill you. Like, so fucking what? So what? You're okay with you're going to cower in a corner because somebody's going to come at you with a gun instead of fighting back, right? And so what? So what? You die. Then they can't harm you.
Yeah. Then you're in a better place. People don't understand. They're so attached to this life and this world that they think this is what it is. And they don't understand. This is just temporary. What we are here is temporary. This is a test to see if you're worthy to go upstairs.
And even more so than that,
go to a better place.
And people will get that confused with that. This doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. So just give in. And it's like, no, because long after you're gone, there's still going to be human beings here. And what we do now is going to echo throughout generations of the next human beings. And what would George do? What would George Washington do? They fucking went and shot people in the face over tea, over a nothing % tax on tea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're going to let them take our kids away and just run over us altogether because we're afraid of them? What the fuck has America become? What have we become?
There is no man on this earth that has authority over me. No man, not even the popo when they stop me on the side of the road. I'll let them know, man. I put the sheriff back in his car. I watched him pull off before I pulled off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Pull me over and try to drum up some bull crap, keep my hands on my Jeep the whole time. And then finally I go, dude, what happened to my 14th Amendment? That joker shut up and handed me my license back and told me, I hope you have a nice life and I never see you again. And he walked and got in his car and left. He was fixing to tow my Jeep and everything until I said that. I'm serious.
No, I actually just got paperwork probably about 2 months ago. I got pulled over. Now I never I'll take my car here just like right in my local little area, like within like a mile or two of my house. Not legal. Yeah. I don't really care. I'm on back roads. Nobody. If I see a cop out here, it's because somebody called them.
Uh-huh.
So I was down at the nearest town, Newport, and my ex had called me. She needed me to come down to the garage to kind of basically she didn't know she was getting screwed over. And
right.
So I get down there, and as I'm leaving, a cop whips around, and man, you just swear to God, this guy, he was catching the guy who killed Kennedy. You know what I mean? Like how enthusiastic he was about being able to write me $700 in tickets for not having insurance and registration, and
Right.
he acted like he was some gift from God. And then here's the thing that didn't make any sense to me. Okay, here's all the paperwork from it. I was just looking over it before I called you. They if I wanted to go, and I had to pay $50 just to be able to go and have a court hearing, right?
Really?
But if I didn't have $50, I wasn't allowed to go and have a court hearing about it.
No, that's wrong. No, you have a right to a jury trial.
That's what I said to them. I was like, no, that's wrong. I have the freedom of being able to go and face my accuser in court, and you guys aren't going to let me have a court case unless I pay you $50 right today, and I can't do it over the phone. I've got to come down to your freaking place. You just made it. You just took the license plate off my car. I don't have any way to get to you. How do you expect me to do it? Well, then I guess you're pleading guilty then, Mr. Maben. And I was like, well, I guess I am, aren't I? You know what I mean? I don't have a choice. Hey,
I'll learn that.
If I didn't plead guilty to it and I didn't send anything in because I disagreed with it, and if I didn't pay the $50 or I didn't plead guilty, then they were going to come and arrest me and put me in jail for 30 days for contempt.
Damn.
Yeah, they stick
I'd be getting out of Pennsylvania. It's too late now.
Well, there really wasn't anything that I could do because I don't have somebody that can watch my kids. I don't have anybody that can drive me 25 miles to the place that it happened. I'm literally stuck in the middle of nowhere. I was just really lucky that guy didn't tow my car right there. He goes, well, I'm getting a tow truck coming. I said, no, dude, I already called the tow truck. Well, we were sitting there. I called the tow truck. It was on its way to come and bring it to my house. And that's exactly what they did. Because we would have fucking died over them taking my car, man, because I don't have no other way. That's all I got is my car. I don't care if it's legal or not as far as they're concerned. It runs, drives. I don't run into people. I don't drive it drunk. I'm going to use the damn thing. I don't care. That's my life source right there. It's the only way I can get down to the store. It's the only way I can get milk for my kids, bread. You know what I mean? They're not going to take that from me. I don't give a shit what their laws are.
Well, that's what the daggum cop was going to tow my Jeep for, because I didn't have proof of insurance. And that's a state law, right? Well, when I look, we had some sovereign citizens that lived in this country, in this county. Mm-hmm. They sued the sheriff's department. They sued the little town in this county. They sued Jackson, Tennessee Police Department. They sued everybody around here.
You're allowed to use your property on state public roads. You're allowed to. You don't have to have it registered. You don't have to have insurance. You don't have to have it inspected.
You don't have to have a driver's license.
Well, the next thing that they're going to want is they're going to want me to bring in my guns every year so they can inspect them to make sure that they're shoot worthy. No, that ain't going to happen. Why should I have to do that with any of my property?
Look, I had a cop one time. That joker made up a mile on me. He was a mile behind me. And he got up behind me and got right on my butt. And I'm like, you know what? I ought to brake check that sucker. And I didn't. But there's a little business on the side of the highway, and their parking lot blended in with the highway, right? So I was like, I know what I'm going to do. So when I got right there at it, I hit the turn signal. I pulled over in their parking lot, which is on the other, the other side of on the south side of the highway. Mm-hmm. Well, the cop goes by. Hell, I didn't even slow down. I just got back on the highway behind them. That daggum cop hits the daggum shoulder of the road, lets me go by him, then he turns on the blue lights.
They don't like me following.
Well, look, I pulled up in a business that I know the people pretty good. That way, if anything went down, because I know my mouth, and I'm not going to take any bull crap from a cop. And he comes up, you have driver's license? I go, yeah. He goes, well, can I see them? I go, I don't really need them. 14th Amendment says I don't need them. And he goes, I go, what'd you stop me for? He goes, well, I didn't think you had tags, but I see you do. I go, so why are you stopping me? You see I do? well, I need to see your license. I'm like, why you need to see my license? The whole reason you stopped me is because you didn't think I had tags that I don't need because the 14th Amendment says I don't need them. And now you want to see my driver's license? I got a 14th Amendment says I don't need none of that, buddy. He goes, well, I stopped you because I couldn't read your tags. I go, do you not understand? I don't need those tags I do have back there. I said, are we done? He goes, well, I need to see your license. I'm like, why? Your whole reason for stopping me for no tags, and I got tags. So get back in your car. I mean, that's how I was talking to him, man. And he goes, oh, you're one of them sovereign citizens. And I go, dude, I'm a citizen that knows my rights. And my rights make me a sovereign citizen. That's what the rights are for, to make you sovereign. And that joker went and got back in his car and left.
Yeah, they're in much.
I'm not a sovereign. I mean, we all are supposed to be sovereign, man. That's what the Constitution of the United States is for us to keep our sovereignty as individuals.
Yep. That we don't have to fall in line with whatever somebody wants. And that's why any law that is opposing to the Constitution is null and void. Any kind of regulation to anything is null and void. If it doesn't specifically say it in the Constitution that it's illegal, then it's null and void. You can smoke weed. You can go and make your own liquor. You can sell that shit. It doesn't really matter because none of that stuff is truly illegal. There's no crime if there's not an injured party.
Well, we can't collect tax off that illegal moonshine. It's not illegal moonshine, dumbass.
You're just declaring that it is.
I mean, I'm not calling you a dumbass.
You got a gun that declares it for you, you know? But extortion's still illegal for me to do to somebody else. But an armed gunman with a little badge on his chest can extort me for money any time of the day just because he's having a pissy day and I'm the guy that pissed him off.
Highway robbery. You got robbed going down the highway by some daggum uniformed, badged, gun-toting thug.
Yeah, how many thousands of years did humanity go around without a police force? How in the hell did we get to this point?
The only thing the police are for is to protect our constitutional rights. They're supposed to protect and serve the citizens. All right? And the only reason you should be stopped on the highway if you're driving is if you cause personal injury or property damage. That is it. There's no other reason to be stopped unless you did one of those two things.
And that goes back to like the right for me to swing my fist ends at the very tip of your nose. Anything short of that, and you don't have the right to do anything about it. If I'm not hurting you, stay the fuck away from me.
Oh shit! I gotta.
You playing with the door back there, girl? My daughter's playing with the door back.
We got a huge crew in here tonight. We got 2 people watching.
Woo! Holy shit!
Must be something to do with the title,
right?
I've been watching how YouTube's algorithm works.
No, that's what I'm saying, and it really is too. It's like pretty much everything that I do, nobody's getting notified for it.
I don't.
Nobody's getting notified for it. Nobody's gonna hear it. You know, my voice has been effectively silenced. And that's okay because I've come to the conclusion that if it is impossible for me to wake anybody up. All I'm going to be doing is speaking into an echo chamber of people that think exactly the same way that I do, or they're just going to leave me some nasty comment that I'm going to have to erase anyways. You know, those are the only 2 types of people that are going to hear my stuff. People that hear me or people that think that I'm some kind of nutball who deserves to be inside of a cage somewhere.
Well, I hope you understood my comment where I said I can't wait for the vax. I want to become a 4-arm fly swatting machine.
Oh, yeah, I think that. That was funny. That's what I'm saying.
You know, who knows what that DNA changer thing in that vax is going to do? I might grow 5 extra arms or something. Who knows? I'm not taking the vax. I'm just saying, you know.
No.
What's going on, mate?
And that's the thing. Like they've created themselves. They've turned themselves into the enemy. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I would so much rather go peacefully throughout my life and never have to worry about another human being trying to impose anything upon me that I don't want done to myself. And I'm okay with that. If you want to go get a vaccine, absolutely. But there is no way that you're going to chip me. There's no way that you're going to force me to get a vaccine. They tried to do it with my kids in school. They weren't wanting to let my kids into school, and I had to tell them it was a religious belief. And truth be told, it's not really a religious belief. It's just a personal one. But that wasn't valid enough for them. They were calling CYS on me, which is Children Youth Services, because I didn't want to have my children vaccinated. And so I told them it was a religious belief.
Child endangerment charges. Don't do shit like that.
Mm-hmm. They said, Mr. Maben, we understand you don't vaccinate your children. I said, yeah, I don't. I don't care either. You're not vaccinating them. Get off my property. You know what I mean? Get out of here.
Well,
you know, they sent CYS to my door. They sat there and they threatened me. They, you know, and that's like the worst kind of threat you can do. You can threaten me all day long. I'll just brush it off. I don't really care. You bring my kids into this situation and you'll be goddamn lucky that you don't end up dead. You know what I mean? You can't do that. And we got to put a stand like that. That's the way that the stand's got to be. We can't do this like political bureaucracy bullshit anymore.
People don't understand. That's where we're at. I mean, our lives are at stake here.
Mm-hmm. Every freedom that you've ever known is on the teeter-totter right now, and it's getting ready to flip.
Oh, it's gone. Because this fixes to totter on down on that second wave.
Yeah. No, it really is, man.
And this whole pushing this vaccine thing on a dadgum virus that don't even meet the dadgum regular flu statistic numbers is ridiculous. They might as well say they're trying to vaccinate us against Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, they've sat there and they have 24-hour propaganda machines running, you know, via all the news networks, whether it's Fox or CNN, it doesn't really matter. They're all the same.
Radio also. The radio too.
That's why I just completely, like, when I say I broke away from that stuff, I haven't had cable in the last 10 years, and I haven't watched mainstream news in even longer, and I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I get on my YouTube once or twice a day. I check my email. Short of that, I'm not really, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I watched Tiger King on Netflix. That was some pretty good shit right there, buddy. I watched that Tiger King that everybody was talking about watching, and oh man, I don't know if you've seen it or not. You want to see it.
I haven't watched any movies. The last movie I went to watch when it was new was Erin Brokovich. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like with Tom Cruise.
No, the one. What was her name? Deadgum. What? Oh man, what's her name? Jennifer something.
Wait, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that was like in like the 90s.
Yeah, that's the last time I went and saw a new movie anytime. And that's when she was fighting about the toxics that were in the soil and it was making all these people sick in that town in Texas.
Yep.
Julia Roberts. That's who Julia Roberts played that part.
Yep.
That's the last movie besides Home Alone 2, I think. It can't, all right.
This is on Netflix.
Well, I haven't even watched movies, man. I don't know why. I just stopped watching them, but I've watched a few here lately, and I'm going to tell you one that kind of freaked me out. Go to YouTube Free Movies and watch Alien Code.
I never seen that one.
Watch it.
I just rented The Goodfellas last night, and I'm getting ready to watch it here after I get off.
Watch the Alien Code. That is a weird one. It is weird. But it makes sense, but it's weird.
Right.
What's going on, Nick Hamilton? Hey, all right, let me address this John Boy for president. I'm pulling out, y'all. I'm not going to run for president because there's not a president seat anymore.
There hasn't been.
There's no need for a president in this country. We're under New World Order. We have a world leader. Bill Gates is now the leader of everything. I mean, United States does not have, I mean, they were their own corporation, and now they've subsidized it out to the New World Order. So ain't no need for me to do anything because the New World Order's in charge of if I became president. So.
But hey, John boy, I gotta get off here. I gotta get my daughter in the room. She's up again. She went to sleep and now she's up again. So
okay.
Check on the other kids and.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Running around this house.
All right. Well, look, y'all have a blessed night. Keep your head on a swivel.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Come check out my channel. It's Be the Change, spelled the same way that it's on here.
His link's in the description already, y'all. To the last video he did or live stream. It's a good message. Y'all go watch it.
Yeah, it's a little lengthy.
And I appreciate it, Be the Change.
Weed through it, Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, John.
It's a good solid. All right, see you later. Thanks. Peace. All right, y'all. I don't know what else to say, man. I've said all I can say, and I hate repeating myself. And if anybody didn't hear that, again, I hate to repeat myself. Yeah, he's a good guy. I don't get his notifications anymore. He's just like me. He's not putting up the crap. But look, y'all, it is starting to get dark here, and I need to go check on my dog. Coyotes to start coming out. I don't know if I'll do another live stream tonight or not. I probably won't. Or I might. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sick of it all, y'all. But yeah, Be the Change's link. Well, it's not really the link to his channel. It's the link to the live stream he just did. But you can still go there and then be able to subscribe. But y'all check it out. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end this thing myself so I can get off here and fix something to eat. Take care of some stuff before it gets too much darker. So anyhow, all right, Nick, Wolf Lover, Jenny Girl, MH, Dr. Eval. Y'all have a good night. And John Boy is out.